So, yeah. And there we are. But I wonder if it would still sell out a stadium if me and big old David Price had a fight. Even though he's retired, Old Trafford or Anfield. I think we sell it out for the WBC World Heavyweight title. Or even if the WBC wouldn't sanction it, we could do it for the Northwest title of Great Britain.
We could?
For the Northern Warriors.
Sorry.
Think it'd sell out? Me and Price? The rivalry was that big for so long.
It was massive because it was when we first started as well.
And he was the only British person to ever beat me. Amateur or pro.
Oh my God.
I think it'd sell out.
Are we really having this conversation?
And I also think that a fight with the toe breaker would still sell a stadium out.
It weren't that long ago that he did that exhibition against Joe Ford and then called you out.
It weren't that long ago. Get this guy Coogan out of here. I ain't trying to hear no more from Shilligan. Get Shilligan out of here.
Yeah.
On TV.
Exactly.
That wasn't that long ago.
Do you think me and him would still sell out?
Yeah.
God, do, honest.
Yeah.
I'd say so. That was one of the travesties in British boxing that we never got to see that fight.
And he pulled out twice, didn't he? Little shithouse. Pulled out twice.
Coogan.
Once with an eye injury and once with a shoulder operation. I'm not sure how he looks at himself in the mirror in the morning. But still, there's still 3 big rivalry fights in this country, isn't there, for me?
Yeah, I mean, you got Joe Joyce. Let's throw Big Buff Dubois in there. And why not AJ on the end? Maybe AJ. Joyce number 1, USYK number 2, and maybe throw Dubois in there. Who else we got in the UK? That's the 3. Joyce number 1, USYK number 2, and then Big Buff Dubois or AJ. They're both the same. AJ and Dubois are the same kind of guys. Yeah, no chops. Absolutely no chops. And they're as buff as you like. Big Buff Burley looking at us Nicks. 100%.
Even though they ain't active or whatever, David Price, David HAYE, Anthony Joshua. 3. So if you're out there, and I know you're still out there, and I know you're still in the gym, there's 3 mega British fights that would get the imagination of the United Kingdom flowing. The juices will be flowing.
No. There's no way. No. I'm in some other universe. There's no way he just sold it that way. The UK public's juices will be flowing over David Big Toe, David the Plumber Price, and Anthony Joshua. There's no way. This shows you, yeah. This goes into the psychology of these guys, these celebrity guys. They think you lot are muggins, and you can't blame him. You can't blame him. Yeah, this shows you what they think of the public. And I can't, again, he ain't wrong. Most of you clown having ass dudes, you will be salivating for Fury versus the Plumber. The fuck? Get this guy out of it 100%. I ain't trying to hear no more from this guy. Corny sounding ass dude.
Isn't there for me? Even though they ain't active or whatever, David Price, David HAYE, Anthony Joshua. 3. So if you're out there, and I know you're still out there, and I know you're still in the gym, there's 3 mega British fights that would get the imagination of the United Kingdom flowing. The juices will be flowing like a chicken roast on a rotisserie.
Or if John McDermott still fancies it.
Or Big John. But I'm not sure that's as big as...
Or Big John. Get Coogan out of here. I ain't trying to hear no more from that guy. Get him out of here 100%.
Price, HAYE, Joshua. But I still think 3 of them fights will sell out a stadium. Not a problem. Bang, bang, bang. And I really do mean that.
Not a problem. These 3 fights, the Plumber, Big Toe and Joshua, will sell out no problem. Bang, 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 he said. I've heard it all now.
It's all about the what if, isn't it? What would have happened if? There you go, that's our signal.
That is our signal, to be fair.
I think that...
The good Lord above. You damn right there was a signal. The good Lord above said, listen, I can't listen to no more of this trash. Yeah? You man had the first man in history to have Jesus himself toppling over from a heart attack. I can't listen, Jesus. I'm going to say to you, I can't believe it myself. It's no surprise Jesus just had a heart attack. Yeah? The gods are tumbling over here. What's going on here? What's going on? I just saw the number one lineal heavyweight champ of the world waffle for 5 minutes about what's next. And he weren't, this is the thing, people, he weren't joking. Yeah? He told you the next ones are the plumber, David Price, Mr. Big Toe. These guys aren't even fighting anymore. These guys have not, in fact, these guys aren't even retired. These guys have been retired. Do you understand that? There's a difference between retired and been retired. Retired's kind of like, well, retired is what I call Fury in April. That's what you call retired. Yeah? Oh, he's one of them ones. He's still fighting age. He's still knocking around. And he's still training, but he's retired. That's what you call retired. When someone's been retired, they ain't fought for years. And then you got Coogan jumping in. Oh yeah, well, David Haye did fight Fournier. What the fuck? Get this guy out of here. 100%. I ain't trying to hear no more from these guys, man. Not Gareth A. Davies. Not Shilligan. Giving that passionate slop top. And at one point there was a pause because you could tell. Well, I thought you could tell. Coogan was maybe a little bit taken away. Fury said, "Oh, do you think we could do some pay-per-view?" Coogan was like, "Oh yeah, it was a pretty big fight." He said it was. He didn't say, "Yeah, Fury, go steaming ahead." The fans are raring for this one. But for me, it's the arrogance. Look at Fury. He genuinely thinks Fury versus Big Toe and Fury versus the Plumber is finger-licking good. Look at the guy. He ain't joking. This ain't like one of them ones. He genuinely thinks the public are finger-licking thirsting. Yeah, Tyson Fury believes the public are finger-licking thirsting for a fight with him and the retired... It's not even the plumber. He's the retired plumber. He was a plumber 10 years ago, and now he's the retired plumber. And Fury's out here saying, yeah, the fans are begging for it. I'll tell you now, you best believe what's coming next. You'll hear, the USYK fight, USYK, the gappy teeth guy don't want it. We got the plumber in instead, because the fans are begging for it. And the worst thing is, let me show you, man. How peak it truly is right now to be a boxing fan. Let me show you how peak it is. Because whilst me and you, people with brains and people who are normal or above average people, we think what he said was wild, yeah? Let me show you what the low IQ beta dons are saying about this fight. Watch this. Here we go. It's great that Coogan asks questions no one else asks. It makes it all the more insightful. Great interview. Also, Tyson talking about the Price and Haye fight. I'd love to see those despite them being past their best. That post has 1 like as well. What the... Also, Tyson, and by the way, I've just done a search. I put the word Price in. Let's see what the public are saying about what Fury said. I'd love to see those. And that's why, people, we had Fury vs Chisora, because of goobers like that. They were the same, you best believe it. As bad as we thought the Chisora fight was, the Plumber fight's even worse. The Plumber fight no good. Plumber's chinless, completely chinless. We thought Chisora was a bit iffy. Listen, Plumber's... is Big Toe, come on. Big Toe couldn't even stand up to Mr. Tony Bellend. Bellend's no good. Small fry cruiserweight. Light heavyweight, better yet. Tony Bellend is an old light heavyweight, and Big Toe was falling apart at the ring. Got punched around the ring and let down. Listen, you best believe it. Team Lighty, to this day, are having to deal with the repercussions of what he let Mr. Light Heavyweight Tony Bellend do to him. Yeah? Never a day of my life have I seen Team Lighty punched up by a light heavyweight in that fashion. Yeah? He had your ankles falling apart. This was snapping, that was snapping. First it was your bicep, then it was your Achilles. Old man falling apart, having ass, dude. Get that guy out of here. I ain't trying to see no more from that guy. Yeah? Mr. Big Toe, get him out of here, 100%. About your Big Toe. I'll give you Big Toe in a minute. Clown. 100% out of here. And that's what I'm thinking now, you know. I'm thinking about the whole Chisora fight. That Chisora fight, based on what Tyson Fury is saying here, yeah, that Chisora fight was a test. It was a test. Ooh, you know, let's not do a big fight next. Let's not fight Joe Joyce next, for example. Let me do a complete scrub fight. Because you got to bear in mind, Fury's gone from Wilder, yeah? He's gone from Wilder to fight him Dillian White. Now, as much as Dillian White's a complete bum, still, let's be fair here. As far as boxing names go, he's certainly a top 7 name, isn't he? In the UK, he's probably a top 3 name. So, at that point, Fury didn't know how desperate and how thirsty and how low IQ the broad fan base were. All he knows at that point is, okay, we've sold big numbers because I fought a pretty big name. To get a gauge of something, to find out the range, to find out how weak the public are, you need to go towards the bottom of the barrel. Of course, the Dillian White fight proved we can sell out if we put on big names. It's not always a given, but we know that now. Let's see how we sell when we put on a complete bum fight in the freezing cold. Yeah? And guess what? That fight showed that the numbers weren't bad. Certainly not the stadium numbers weren't. I don't know about the pay-per-view, but there was enough thirsty cucks out there to turn up and put some coins in the stadium. And because of that relative success, that's what's going on here. If that Chisora fight had bombed, you'd never hear Fury saying. Because he'd know, wait a minute. If a Chisora fight bombed, there's no way dragging Big Toe out, one foot out of the grave and dragging the plumber out of retirement. There's no way that's going to work. That Chisora fight was a test. And because of this relative success, yeah, if Fury knows I can make 25 mil fighting a complete bum, 100 to 1 odds on favourite, why am I going to go there in USYK and take any risk? Even if I think I can beat USYK at decent odds, why do that for? Wait a minute, I can fight USYK for 50 mil, 40 mil, or I can fight Chisora for 20 mil all day. And that's why he mentioned 3 names, because he's thinking, wait a minute, I can fight USYK, I can fight hard fights once every 6 months, or I can fight these plumbers every other month. That's what he's thinking. I'll get the plumber in March, then I'll get Big Toe in July, and then I'll get the bodybuilder in Losua to finish off the year. That's what he's thinking. And add them up together, because all in 3 fights there's 0 risk. So he can make 60 mil in a year from them fights, or he can fight USYK, have a potentially difficult fight or tricky fight, and make 40 mil. Tyson Fury can make more money fighting scrubs than he can stepping up with USYK. And that's not my words. You heard him there. Yeah? That's not me. Oh, YB, you're hating. I'm not doing anything. Some Don told me today, YB, you got to check this out. Fury called out David Haye and the plumber. I said, nah, there's no way. No, you're lying. I said, stop lying. I swear to God. People think I'm a Fury hater, yeah? I told the guy, stop lying. I said, don't come in my DM gassing the place up. There's no way he just called out Big Toe. I said, stop gassing. Because sometimes people go too far. Sometimes people think, oh, YB's a hater. I'll gas him up. I said, listen, I said 100%. Don't gas the place up. Stop lying. Yeah? I said, don't come to my DMs just capping for the sake of capping. You know what I mean? Listen, I like jokes as much as the next man. But don't come capping. You best believe it. Some mans, yeah, they come in my DMs and they try gas me up and there's no quotes. Do you know what I mean? One of them ones. They try gas it. Oh, YB. They try and kind of lure me into doing videos on topics that don't exist. So I told my man, listen, stop capping. Yeah? There's no way. The Chisora fight was bad. I get the joke. 100%. I told the guy. I said, yeah, I get the joke. I see where you're going with this. Yeah, the Chisora fight was bad, but come on now. There's no way he's called out Big Toe. There's no way. There's no way he's calling out the plumber. No way. Lo and behold, I hear this, and it wasn't just a quick. My man spent the last 30% of the interview setting the scene and building the narrative. Look at the way my man was smiling. He's doing this with the fingers. Look at the fingers. Look.
I'd say so. That was one of the. Wow.
Yep. Pulled out twice. But still, there's still 3 big rivalry fights in this country, isn't there, for me? Even though they ain't active or whatever. David Price, David Haye, Anthony Joshua. 3. So if you're out there, and I know you're still out there, and I know you're still in the gym, there's 3 mega British fights that would get the imagination of the United Kingdom flowing, the juices will be flowing like a chicken roasting on a rotisserie.
Or if John McDermott still fancies it.
Or Big John. But I'm not.
Did you just hear Coogan at the end as well? Coogan, wait a minute. Coogan just sat there and heard Fury reel off the most bum fights in boxing history. I guarantee you, in pay-per-view history, those are the most free bummest fights. Honestly, the pay-per-view gods are turning in their graves. I kid you not. Pay-per-view used to have a pizzazz to it. And you got Coogan. Wait a minute. Fury's just reeled off categorically the 3 most bummest fights in pay-per-view history. Or in potential pay-per-view history. I'm telling you now, there's never been a more bummish lineup of pay-per-views than those 3 names we just heard. Never. Not in the history of the game. Never. And on the end of the most bummest potential pay-per-view fights in history, Coogan throws in, I wonder if John McDermott's about to make a 4th. What the? Get this guy out of here. I'm telling you now, man. I ain't trying to hear no more from these guys. People say, YB, why are you doing... This is meant to be a boxing channel. If you want to know why the boxing video ain't being done, listen to this. Yeah? About where the boxing videos... Here's the boxing videos. Yeah? Are you listening to this? And people telling me, YB, you're hating on Fury. Listen to this guy. This guy just told you a fight against David Haye is finger looking good. Yeah. And I'm the one who, YB, stop hating. No, why can't Fury sit there, yeah? And that's the thing. I wouldn't even believe it if he did, but he's not even lying anymore. Before, yeah, Fury's whole shtick was, in the past, before the Chisora fight happened, essentially, before we know what Fury's like. Fury loves attention. Like the rest of the showgirls in the celebrity culture, but Fury won't do nothing that gets public backlash. So up until the Chisora fight, you didn't hear him calling no bums out because he wasn't sure about the public reception. The Chisora fight gave him essentially signed him off. That was the license to KILL, essentially. That was Tyson Fury's 007 license. Yeah? The license for bum fights on pay-per-view. That's what it was. Because Fury's old strategy was fight a bum, but in the meantime, talk about how he can't wait to get busy with Joe Joyce, talk about how he can't wait to punch up music, and then give a bum fight. That's the normal strategy. Normal strategy is, I've been talking about it for years, you mention all the big names, and then a bum fight gets signed. That's been the playbook since time began. But now, because he's tested the water, and he's realised, I mean, you just saw that goofy guy in the comments. Oh, I'd love to see this fight against Price. Of all the fights out there, Joe Joyce, USYK, even Dubois, at least he's young and he'll turn up and might have a swing. All the fights out there, you want to see I'd love to see David Price and David Haye. So yeah, I can't even, again, part of me wants to blame Fury, part of me thinks, well, how can I blame Fury when in a minute I'm going to show you. They weren't the only comments. How can I blame Fury, yeah, when there's a whole bunch of you certain dons in the comment section blowing smoke? And that's the thing, you're not even blowing smoke. Blowing smoke means you're just talking, but you man ain't just talking. You man are literally getting your wallets out and backing this stuff with coins. That's what you're doing. Because if people was like me, there'd have been no one in the stadium for the Chisora fight. And that would have showed him, damn, we sold no tickets because everyone's like the YB. Yeah? And guess what? He'd have had to have fixed up. They'd have brought in the black curtains to show, they'd have brought in the black curtains to cover up all the empty seats, and they'd have realised, damn man, the fans ain't playing, times are tough, the fans ain't with this bum show. But it was the opposite. Fury couldn't believe his luck. Wow, if we get 50,000 people out here in the freezing cold in December against Chisora, then who knows what I can do. Whew. I mean, again, I wouldn't mind, yeah, but it was the way he sold it. He ain't joking, people. He literally thinks he's delivering finger-licking good. And you can, genuinely, I've never seen Tyson Fury so excited. Tyson Fury for years has talked about being depressed, yeah. Look at the guy, I've never seen him so happy to mention fights before. I remember 2021, the AJ fight, Fury was saying, I'm retired, I'm depressed, I can't fight, etc, etc. That's what he was saying when the AJ fight was hot. In the first half of 2021. But look at the guy, look at my man's eyes. My man, he's gassed. Look at the guy.
Out Big David Price. So if you're out there, and I know you're still out there, and I know you're still in the gym, there's 3 mega British fights that would get the imagination of the United Kingdom flowing. The juices will be flowing like a chicken roast on a rotisserie.
Or if John McDermott still fancies it.
Or Big John. But I'm not sure that's as big as Price, Hay, John.
I'm not sure that's as big as... These men are actually debating it. Did you hear that? These men are actually debating whether John McDermott should be in the... Can you imagine that? Oh, well, I bet it's one thing, you know. Oh, Tyson Fury's debating whether it should be Joe Joyce or whether it should be Alexander Usyk or whether it should be Andy Ruiz. You know what I mean? Fair play. If you man want to debate whether it's Ruiz or if you man want to debate whether it's Joe Joyce or Usyk or the Wilder versus Ruiz winner, if you man want to debate that one, am I going to argue the toss? I'm not. I kid you not. Honestly, if someone wants to make a video, arguing which one's the top dog between Usyk, Joe Joyce, and the winner of Wilder and Ruiz, I think I know the top dog. But you know what? How about it? The number 1 lineal heavyweight of the world sitting there debating whether John McDermott should be in the fold. Am I missing something here? Is it? You know what? Let's check some more comments because I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Yeah, I've seen that first comment. Here we go. Here's another one. Oh my god, here we go. Peep this. Now, that would be a trilogy of fights. I'd love to see Big Pricey get a good payday as well. And a clause in the HAYE and Price's contract so that if by chance they win, they have to fight each other next. That post has 7 likes. Now that would be a trilogy of fights. I'd love to see Big Pricey get a big payday. No joke, these men, are most likely making £10 an hour doing some dead-end job. And with all due respect, has David Price made 20 billion? No, he hasn't, but trust me, David Price, he ain't hurting for monies. He ain't. David Price will be a multi-millionaire in his own right, facts. He's not going to be in the hundreds and 200s, but he will have 2, 3, 4 million in net asset, net worth, 100%. Because Price has had a few of them. He had a Povetkin fight. All them 500Ks, they add up. You best believe it. Now, I don't know. Has he spent money like an idiot? He might have spent money like an idiot. But trust me, Liverpool's cheap as well. David Price ain't hurting for monies. And I find it odd. These guys making £10 an hour. I've heard it before though. Oh, yeah. In fact, we heard it with Chisora. And I'm not trying to hear that. Yeah? If you want to put your friend on, put your friend on. Don't do it wasting the public's time. But again, I can't really blame Team Fury because it's not his fault. He doesn't make you suckers buy it. And if you suckers love being fin-cucked, what can I do? It's one of them ones. You can't blame Fury, can you? You man love it. You man are begging for it. Oh, YB, you're a hater. It's great seeing Chisora getting a payday. What do you mean? Chisora's been getting paydays. He fought Vlad and... I'm pretty sure... Yeah, I think Chisora fought Vlad and Vitali. He's been getting paydays for the last 10 years. He fought Fury twice. He's fought everyone. Dillian White twice. These are big fights. But it's great to see him getting a payday. You might want to worry about your £10 an hour. Do you know what I'm saying? Everyone's worried about everyone. Oh, man, it's mad. And I wouldn't mind... Trust me, I'm not a hating ass dude, yeah? I'm happy for someone to earn their living like anyone else. If David Price was in the fold and was able to make some good money, you know what I mean? Delivering value, I salute that. What I'm not in the business of doing charity handouts. And if Fury does want to do charity handouts, do that. Don't mix the two, because it makes me laugh. People say, oh, YB, it's great seeing, stop being a Fury hater. It's great seeing Fury helping his mate Chisora out. Well, wait there a minute. Fury didn't help anyone out. We, or you, man, helped Chisora out. It wasn't Fury's money. Do you know what I'm saying? What's that about you, man? That shows you how... That's what celebrities do to you. Celebrities, yeah. They'll post something on their Twitter. They'll post some charity thing on their Twitter. You, man, will donate. And then they'll be at the end of it with a big check. Oh, yeah, I raised 2 million for charity. What? That's the public's money, you idiot. You didn't do... And most of them, man, don't put nothing in either. Yeah? Oh, but I did my part. I put it on my social media. What, do you want a fucking medal? Do you know what I'm saying? What you want a cookie for that? But you man love it. Oh, he does really good for charity. Oh, he helped his mate Del out. He didn't help no one out. He punched him up. His daughter was there looking like my dad's been punched. You know what I'm saying? Punched beyond recognition. And the public put the pay-per-view money in and paid Chisora. It's nothing to do with Fury. All Fury got was an easy payday and a good spot and a good meat bag session. Chisora was a walking meat bag, and Fury was teeing off like a big dead cow carcass, cold one. He was just punching it up. That's just what happened. But I'd love Pricey to get a good payday. What you mean to say is you'd love the fans who, by the way, 99% of fans are doing worse than David Price. I don't see Tyson Fury saying, wait a minute, you know what? I'd love to see the fans get some good value in these hard times. Yeah, why can't Fury say that? Never mind helping out millionaire Chisora. Never mind helping out million David Price. Why can't we hear these guys saying, you know what? The public ain't got much to look forward to these days. Let me do my bit as a heavyweight champion. Let me at least hold up the standard and deliver some value. Yeah? Oh, no. Us people down here have got to worry about David Price making more millions. And yeah, I'm not saying David Price is worth 100 million, but just best believe, David Price has been making 6-figure paydays for 3 months' work for 10 years. Do you understand? How many of you man can do that? How many of you man can turn up for 8 weeks' work, 12 weeks' work, yeah? And you know what I mean? How many of you man can turn up for 8 weeks' work and get 400 grand? How many? Exactly. Probably none of you on here. Yeah? So, what are we doing here? Let's have a look at a few more comments, but the crazy thing is, I'm searching for the price thing, and not many have come up. So what's interesting is, you don't see no one slagging it off. I've just searched price, so it will show all the David Price comments, yeah? And I don't see none of them there, which tells you that people, or the only comments we just saw were good comments. There was 2 comments mentioning David Price, and both of them, oh yeah, Fury's right, this fight's finger-licking good. And what's more worrying about that is, it's not the fact that there was 2 comments sucking off the idea, it's the fact that, where was the army of comments saying, that's despicable, how dare Tyson Fury, in these times, be talking about putting on. Now, I wouldn't even mind so much if he said, you know what, I mean, I wouldn't advise it, but if Fury should be talking about fighting them 3 at once. That'd be interesting. Yeah? My name's Tyson Fury. I'm going to fight David Price at 6 o'clock at 6 o'clock. I'm going to fight David Price at 6 o'clock. I'm going to fight David Hay at 8 o'clock. And I'm going to fight AJ at 10 o'clock. That, you know, Fury having to do 3 fights, even if he blows out David Price early, that, you know, I can get behind that, genuinely. If Fury wants to fight them 3 in one night, 12-round fights each. Now, if Fury can knock out David Price and knock out David Hay in 1 round and then fight AJ, still, I'm down for that. That to me does have some intrigue. Because of the, I guess, yeah, I can get behind that. Yeah? If Fury wants to market a £30 pay-per-view, fighting all 3 of them back to back to back in a 6-hour period, and all on the same day, you know what? It's not ideal, but I think that's probably is pay-per-view worthy, truth be known. Because of the, do you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's fighting complete bums. They all turn up to fight, and will Fury get fatigued by the AJ fight? Will David Hay catch him? You know what I mean? That's intriguing. I tell you what ain't intriguing. Treating each one like it's a big pay-per-view blockbuster, the way Fury intends to do it. He ain't gonna fight all 3 of them in one night, no way. Why do that? He can cash out each one individually. Fury will make much more fighting each one in each night than he will putting them all together. But I'm not involved. I'm not care about Fury making money. I'm cared about the fans getting value. And the only way them 3 fights make sense is all on the same night. Otherwise, it's a big no. And even then, to be quite frank with you, even all on the same night only makes sense a year from now. Right now, I need to see you punch up USYK. Right now, I need to see you punch up Joe Joyce, if that's what you can do. I think Joe Joyce wiped. I don't know, that's just me. I think that fight's as close to 50-50 as it gets. Joe Joyce too big, too strong. That's what I want to hear you talking about. Yeah? Don't tell me about finger licking and David Price. You know, what's that about? I'm telling you what it's about. Forget about the USYK fight. Forget about the USYK fight. Forget about the Joe Joyce fight. Forget about any relevant fights. I can see it now. I'm sorry. This interview, I didn't believe it. Now I've heard it. Look at the man's eyes. He's gassed. Why? And again, I said it the other day. Fury talks about his injuries, yeah? We ain't heard nothing since, but the point is, immediately after the USYK fight, on the tip of Fury's tongue was this magical injury and no one heard of before. Now, once again, Coogan didn't say to Fury, "Oh, Coogan, my name's Coogan. Fury, do you want to fight Big Toe? Do you want to fight the plumber?" He didn't say that. Fury, out of nowhere, starts mentioning, "Oh, yeah, you know what, in my career, there's 3 massive fights. There's 3 finger-looking good fights that never happened, I think should happen." My point, this guy, this isn't the first time he's just popped into his head. He's been thinking about this. He's been thinking and look at it. Do you see how excited he was? He's been thinking and plotting this out, in my opinion. These haven't just jumped into his head. Yeah? He's genuinely a man who's so depressed, yeah. When you see a man who's so depressed, that excited, you best believe it's not a joke. Yeah. If something in Fury's life makes him that excited, he's going for it all day. And guess what? The USYK fight, oh, my elbow, oh, my arm. Joe Joyce fight, oh, this, that, the other. Yeah. The plumber, woo, ding, ding. Oh, his eyes pinged open. His mouth's watering, talking about finger licking good. You best believe it. That's what's coming next. Next year, you best believe it. Forget about any half decent fight. You'll be getting one of them 3. And to be honest, AJ's in the same category as the plumber. Truth be known, big useless buff dude. Yes, I've got to honest truth. Big buff useless dude. Big buff useless plumber. AJ's fair play. AJ, I give you some credit. You're the black plumber, 100%. You're the black plumber. Big buff useless plumber. Black one. You're the black version, 100%. Yeah. Each race has to have a plumber. AJ, and you got David Price, the Liverpudlian plumber. Yeah, we've got the Nigerian plumber and we've got the Liverpudlian plumber. Big buff useless dudes. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button. Big shout out to my doggy, Mr. Black Gold, for coming through and boosting the coins up. Much needed coins, 100%. No doubt about it. Smash the like button, subscribe, and you will be back 100%.